Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? I'm Richard Hasler. I'm an environmental anthropologist. I live in Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm 54 years old. I was born in Africa, educated at St. George's, got a PhD from Michigan State University, and I have a master's from Rhodes University and a bachelor's degree from the University of Cape Town. My final degree was on the relationship between human culture, human societies, and wildlife. There are 4 questions that are raised that Blake's poem raises for me. The first one is, what do you think about wildlife? What do you dream about wildlife? What do previous cultures and previous societies think and dream about wildlife? The relationship between animals and human cultures is a fascinating one, because it's the way we dream and think that determines the manner in which we manage, conserve, exploit, use, and think about animals. So the 4 questions are important because they illustrate that a cultural lens exists between us and animals. This lens I'm going to call the anthropological lens, and it looks at the relationship between human societies and human cultures and animals. Environmental anthropology studies how human societies make decisions about the environmental field. It's those human decisions that often determine environmental outcomes. And that's why it's so fascinating today in this era of climate change, in this era where we have so many challenges that are posed to us, that we need a paradigm shift. We need to look at new ways of solving problems, of resolving the various issues that face us. And our relationship with animals is one of those key questions that hasn't yet been resolved. I want to briefly describe a compelling link between the mysterious religious world of culture and the animal life, the rich animal life of Africa. In the case of my research site, they look back to a dominant individual named Kanyemba, a powerful man who controlled and exploited resources in that area. His spirit is said to be embodied in a lion, a spotted lion, that roams the area. And it is also said that a spirit medium possesses Kanyemba's spirit. I had the privilege to interview that spirit medium and to ask questions about who controls the wildlife in that community. And she said to me that it was the spirit who controlled the small animals, the spirit animals, and it was the wildlife authorities who controlled the big animals, the big 5. A man once came to the spirit medium and reported that lions had invaded his maize field and eaten the maize. Now it's interesting because anomalous behavior by wildlife in this area is seen as the activity of spirit animals as opposed to biological animals. So a lion that eats maize is a spirit animal. These lions, he reported, had come in the early morning and it obviously disturbed him greatly. He went to the spirit medium, reported the case, and the medium contacted the ancestors and reportedly said that the reason these lions had entered his field and eaten the maize was because of an irregularity in his relationship with his father-in-law. It is claimed that his father-in-law it had been requested that he should ask and provide a crown for a rain god that lived in a neighboring area. But this had been omitted, and therefore the retribution was taken out on the son-in-law. That illustrates the link between human culture, the way that humans devise ideas about the natural world, how that is linked to our manipulation, our management, our conservation, our ideas about managing land use, are key instruments to understanding this issue. Traveling the world and looking at the relationship between animals and human cultures would be a fascinating intertwining of intellect, adventure, and enthusiasm for me. I'm the perfect host for the show because I'm a visionary with an anthropological lens who can listen, feel, and understand, as well as explain the relationship between human cultures and animals in all its glorious diversity. 300 years ago, lions roamed this mountain. Now only the spirits remain.